The Golden State Warriors are about to pull off a shocking trade. As you all know, the Warriors are looking to sign one more superstar to this roster, and in today's video, we're going to be going through 5 key potential superstars that the Golden State Warriors are looking to sign this offseason to help them win another NBA championship. So make sure to like this video, and guys, 92% of you are still not subscribed to the channel, so it'd mean the world if you can subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. The first is the Golden State Warriors looking to trade for OG Anunoby. Now, as you all know, OG has been a fantastic player for the Toronto Raptors, but he has requested in trade in order to join a championship team and finally spread his wings and be in a winning culture. And Golden State Warriors could actually be that perfect fit. Now, if you didn't know, the Golden State Warriors were actually looking to trade Jordan Poole in this offseason for OG. However, with the CP3 trade actually going through, it ended up falling this trade out. However, it has been rumored that Toronto Raptors are back in trade discussions with the Golden State Warriors to see what Raptors can actually get for OG when it comes to trading him to the Warriors. Now, some players that have been mentioned in order to make this trade possible is definitely Jonathan Kuminga, Picks, and maybe even someone else. But when it comes to actually getting OG in the team, I think it would honestly be fantastic for what the Golden State Warriors are trying to do. As you all know, OG actually averaged this season 16.8 points, 1.9 steals, 2 assists, and also 5 rebounds. He was a fantastic player and also a great player for the Toronto Raptors, and he actually had a 3-point percentage of 39% and an effective field goal percentage of 55% as well. So he did a fantastic job. He's 6'7", 232 pounds, and is still only 25 years of age. And I think that's what makes OG such a potential star, is due to the fact that even at his young age, he plays a very mature type of basketball, and his mindset towards the game has definitely improved over the years. In his rookie season, he has definitely improved drastically, and I think he is only getting better as time goes on. Now, where I really do believe he can really provide a lot is definitely in the scoring factor. Whether he's coming off the bench or whether he's a starter, I think OG can give a lot to this team when it comes to adding a second scorer. His inside presence is definitely felt, and I think that's something about his game that is so underrated. His finishing around the ring is amazing, and also he does have that 3-point shot, shooting at 38% like we just talked about. He pretty much reminds me of an Andrew Wiggins 2.0, but just a younger version, and I think that's why Andrew Wiggins has worked so well with the Warriors so far. So getting someone like OG who pretty much does the same thing, has that athleticism, has that inside presence, but is also a two-way player, is honestly fantastic to see. Like I mentioned before, he averaged 1.9 steals per game, which was honestly insane, and also a pretty good 0.7 blocks per game as well. Now, his defense definitely doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but I think his defense is the presence that definitely can be felt. Him being 6'7" and 232 pounds, a very strong player, really has him be able to guard 1 through 5 pretty easily. The Golden State Warriors do love to run small ball, and he is roughly the same height as Andrew Wiggins, and he's even taller than Draymond Green, where Draymond stands at 6'6", so he can definitely play defense on some of the best of them, and especially bigger guys, especially in that power forward and center position if needed. So the fact that he's so versatile on offense and defense really does make OG a perfect fit for what the Warriors are trying to build now, especially with CP3 in the picture. The second is the Golden State Warriors to trade for Paul George. Now, as you all know, the LA Clippers are actually looking to restart and rebuild their team from scratch, and if that's the case, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are probably going to be on the trading block. They actually haven't given them a contract extension as well, which points to more signs that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are probably leaving the LA Clippers very, very soon. And Colin Cowherd, who is an NBA analyst, has mentioned that there's some inside knowledge that the Golden State Warriors are looking to make a move in order to sign Paul George to a deal. Now, PG-13 I think would be fantastic for what the Warriors are trying to build. This current season that just happened, he actually averaged 23.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, and also 5.1 assists. So he did a fantastic job for the LA Clippers, and he also did play 56 games. One of the reasons why I think he's still able to really push forward is due to the fact that even during the season with the LA Clippers, they did pretty well, and despite the fact that Kawhi Leonard barely played any games. So Paul George definitely still has that sauce to get it done, especially in the points category, and he is still a great two-way player. Now, when it comes to his 3-point percentage, it's been really good at 37%, which is fantastic, and he also had an effective field goal percentage of 53%, which is really good for that small forward position. Now, when it comes to PG, he stands at 6'8", and he's also 220 pounds and is still 33 years of age. So he's definitely in his peak years of basketball, and if anything, I think he has great veteran experience that can definitely teach the younger guys, especially if he does join this this Warriors team. I think the biggest asset that PG definitely offers is definitely his two-way ability. Golden State Warriors love to get two-way players. We've seen that time and time again. You got Gary Payton II, you got Andrew Wiggins, Dante DiVincenzo. All these great players are actually signing and are joining a team that has a bunch of other two-way players in it, and I think that's something that Paul George will definitely fit the bill with. When it comes to PG-13, they would probably have to give up quite a lot in order to get him, but if that's the case and it does give the Golden State Warriors the best opportunity to win an NBA championship, I think that is what's most important. Like I mentioned time and time again, Stephen Curry is in his last few peak years when it comes to maybe 5 years left of really playing at this high level. I think what makes Steph Curry being able to have such longevity is due to the fact that his game isn't really built on athleticism, it's built off skill and it's built off shooting, and that's why he can last a little bit longer when it comes to being dominant in the NBA. So I do believe now is a perfect time to go all in, get Steph Curry the help that he needs and the help that he wants, and supposedly Stephen Curry has mentioned in Colin Cowherd's words that he has actually mentioned Paul George to make a trade for him. So it definitely would be a sight to see Chris Paul, Paul George, and Steph Curry all in the same team, and on top of that, I think that would be a great big three to start us off. Now that Draymond Green has re-signed to the Golden State Warriors, it definitely looks like that power forward position has already been filled, and I think they could find another great small forward in Paul George, but we would have to give up a lot in order to get that. The third is the Warriors trading for Jarrett Allen. Now, Jarrett Allen is a fantastic player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's an absolute monster inside the paint, and I think he would be perfect for what the Golden State Warriors are trying to build. Now, Jarrett Allen has recently just came into the limelight as being a great player due to the fact that his first early years with the Brooklyn Nets, he wasn't really, having that much firepower in that team, but now he's become a really good center and a center that a lot of people really want. He averaged this season 14.3 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 1.7 assists. On top of that, guys, he is 6'11", 243 pounds, and he's only 25 years of age. And I think that's something that surprised a lot of people about Jarrett Allen on just how young he is and just how mature the game he plays, even at such a young age. And I think it's important to actually notice that Jarrett Allen has been a fantastic player for the Cleveland Cavaliers and has done a lot for that team as well, especially due to the fact that they had a great ranking in the regular season, especially heading into the playoffs. Now, when it comes to Cleveland as well, I think they are looking to trade Jarrett Allen or to get more offensive help that the Cleveland Cavaliers actually need, and it may look like Jarrett Allen is on the trading block. Now, the biggest benefit that Jarrett Allen will provide for this team, if he does join the Golden State Warriors and they trade for him, is definitely his inside presence, and especially being 6'11". As you all know, the Golden State Warriors faced off against the Los Angeles Lakers in the playoffs, and what you really saw, even though, Steph Curry may have had bad games here and there, same with Clay, same with Draymond, I think the main problem that they definitely face is that they did not have enough height to really handle Anthony Davis and also the other big men in that Lakers team, especially with LeBron there as well. LeBron and the Lakers are a very big team, strong, all these different things, and I think the Golden State Warriors just didn't have enough strength and firepower to get that done and to stop them early. Now, getting someone like Jarrett Allen, who's 6'11", I think would do a fantastic job. I could imagine if we did have Jarrett Allen in that Lakers playoff run, that I believe that the Los Angeles Lakers would have lost and the Golden State Warriors could have won due to the fact that Allen could have stopped Anthony Davis very early and also really controlled the paint. And I think that's what he does fantastic as well when it comes to Allen. He's a great inside presence and it's definitely felt. He averaged 1.2 blocks this year, which was great, and also 0.8 steals. But like I always mention, guys, defensive stats don't really show up in the stat sheet. The amount of contests that he get, the amount of shots that he actually alters inside the paint, it's definitely second to none, and he does a lot for it. I think another underrated thing about Jarrett Allen's game as well is his great three-point shooting, especially for a big. Now, he has a free throw percentage of 73%, which is actually really fantastic, especially for that center position. So I think that would pay dividends in the future if he did play for the Golden State Warriors. The fourth is the Golden State Warriors to do a sign and trade deal for Dario Saric. Now, when it comes to Dario Saric, he has been a fantastic player. However, he has to join a team where he can win an NBA championship, and I think Saric could find that home in the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Warriors have done a fantastic job at really getting quite a few good bigs, but I think this season he can really do something special. Now, in the 2022-2023 season, he did play for OKC, and he did only play 20 games. Now, when it comes to that as well, he did average 7.4 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 0.9 assists. However, if we look at Dario Saric as a whole and what he was able to do back in the day in his peak years, and if given the opportunity opportunity, I think he can still be a great player. In his peak years in 2019 and 2020, he was averaging 10.7 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. And I think those are some fantastic stats, especially for someone that was only playing 20 minutes per game. And I think he can definitely get to that again. When he did play for Phoenix and also OKC, he was only averaging 12 minutes per game. And I do believe if he was given around that 15 to 20 minute mark, he can definitely give a huge impact for what the Golden State Warriors are trying to do. And I think that's something about Saric's game that is definitely underrated. Another thing about him as well is that he's a great, fantastic three-point shooter, averaging 39% from the three that he did in that 2022-2023 season. And I think on top of that, what makes him really, really good is the fact that he has high IQ with those three-point shots as well. He had an effective field goal percentage of 55%, which is fantastic. And him being still, the age of 29, he still has a lot of years left, and 29 at 6'10", 225 pounds can provide a lot for this team. The fifth is for the Warriors to trade for Yuta Watanabe. Now, when it comes to Watanabe, he has been a great player and kind of a popular player in that matter when he played for the Brooklyn Nets, and I think he would be great for what the Golden State Warriors need. Now, as you all know, Watanabe was definitely known for his three-point percentage being so high at 45%, and at one point he was actually the highest three-point shooting percentage that he had that season. Now, last season with the Brooklyn Nets, he averaged 5.6 points. He also averaged 2.4 rebounds and 0.8 assists. He also played with Toronto and Memphis, and now that he's entering into his 6th year into the NBA, I think Warriors would be a perfect fit. Now, Watanabe can just provide that little bit of extra scoring that he needs, whether it's only 5 to 10 minutes off the bench, and I think that's something that the Warriors need and something that Watanabe would love to be a part of as well.